How can you actually look better? This is going to be the age old question that virtually no one has found a standardized answer to. What that means is no one has found the answer to what anyone can do, irrespective of their age, gender, and life situation, to go about beginning the momentum to optimize your appearance. That is what I devoted thousands of hours of my life into educating myself, applying upon myself, and then applying to my clients. So, what are you going to begin? Well, you need to begin by first understanding that bones is what supersedes your hair or skin. Your underlying bone structure far outweighs what something like your skin quality does. Obviously, skin quality matters. Once that understanding arises, the next parts will be taken seriously. Next, how are you going to go about optimizing your bone structure? Well, bone structure is going to mean many different things to many different people. But the essence of what I'm going to teach you from my thousands of hours of educating myself is going to be the value that anyone can use. That is going to be counterclockwise rotation and mid-face projection. We can see that this part of your cranium is going to be the most important with regards to your appearance. So optimizing it is also fundamental. And this entire part of the cranium is dependent on this hollow section, the palate. Everyone's heard of mewing. It's 2026. Every single person you encounter will know. But this is going to be leagues more effective than mewing. And unlike mewing, this is going to work irrespective of your age. This is what I developed. It's going to be called Aero. And hopefully, if you have watched my videos before, you will know the essences of Aero. So I'm going to go over this very briefly. In short, you need to pressurize these particular pressure points, there's three, to optimize the rotation of this part of the cranium. This rotation is commonly referred to as counterclockwise rotation. How are we going to supplement this? Since you can watch my previous videos to learn how to go about this, but now we are going to be refining this. The most important aspect of refinement is going to be through the teeth. You can see that the teeth is what allows and we can leverage force to be transmitted through it. If the teeth are not being supported stably, for example, the teeth are out of position, or the teeth do not touch when the jaw is clamped, then force is not going to be transmitted through the teeth. And if force is not transmitted through the teeth, where instead is it going to go through? It's going to pass through the tongue. That's going to be a complete waste of your time. Think about what I just taught you with regards to Aero, the applied epigenetic remodeling of the orofacial complex. Force is going to be delivered through specific retargeted pressure points from the tongue upon the median palatine suture. And this force then redirects itself along the interstitial fluid. And remember, fluid cannot be compressed. Therefore, it is uniformly transmitted along the fluid onto cells. And these cells undergo the process of mechanotransduction, wherein cells transmit this mechanical force into biochemical signals, which allows bone remodeling to take place. So, if the teeth are not adequately supporting the resultant force, that will come downwards. Because remember, what does Newton's third law state? Well, it states that every action is going to have an equal and opposite reaction. In short, this pen is being held up. There's going to be a downwards force due to the pen's weight. Well, equally, there's going to be an upwards force, which is going to be supplied by the muscles along my arm to keep this up. Likewise, if you are actively pressurizing upwards, so imagine this pen is actively pushing downwards, not just using its weight to then drop, but it's going to be pushing downwards like this. Imagine this hand is part of the pen. Now my arm needs to supply more force upwards. What if my arm doesn't exist? Now what? Well, that's the same thing if your teeth are not securely in place. It's so fundamental that your teeth are adequately locked. If they're not locked, forget it. Now, if we know that the teeth is this strong, what more can you do? Well, the teeth need to not just be clamped in place, but the teeth need to be taken care of. In particular, you need to right now search up teeth probiotics, source probiotics that are going to help your teeth the most near you. Since in different regions across the world, you're not going to be able to source different things. So, given that you can source correct probiotics for your teeth, you're then going to find the supplements that are dissolvable and keep it in your mouth. This is what I do. This is what I advise virtually everyone I ever meet who asks for advice to do, since your teeth need adequate support to be able to transmit force. What does the force along the teeth contour do? Well, we can see here force from the tongue is going to come upwards at this angle. And you can see from the diagram here, if you can pay attention closely, I've drawn out the moment, well, the torque that is going to be supplied by the tongue. And this torque is what? Needs a resultant force downwards to allow the chin to then project sufficiently through bone remodeling. Remember, this is going to come upwards, isn't it? Just the resultant force. It's going to come like this. Now, that means, according to Newton's third law, there's going to be a resultant force coming downwards. This downwards force is going to be like this. That's no good. Well, this downwards force, or the backwards component of it, is going to be completely negated since, remember the third aspect of three-point arrow, the tongue is not going to allow any backwards motion. It's only going to come forwards. So with regards to this is the resultant force. We can completely negate the negative component of this force. That then allows just this component. So it's downwards. Now, if you can pressurize the first point of three-point arrow sufficiently, that is what allows this forwards drag to come into play. Now, if we take the resultant force of just this downwards force as well as the forwards torque that we allow, what's the resultant force now? Directly along the chin. And that's how you can see the chin is going to project over time. And given that the chin can project over time, your overall facial convexity will improve. And this is a fact. What more can you do? Okay, what more you're going to do is recognize that, yes, the teeth are important. Yes, we need to optimize the teeth health, but what allows the teeth to actually bite? Well, what allows the teeth to bite is going to be the masseter muscles. So, everyone knows chewing. Similar to mewing, the analog instead of the tongue for the masseter muscles of mewing is going to be chewing. But what does everyone get wrong? Everyone thinks chew with these teeth, the premolars, to induce counterclockwise rotation. Guess what? That's not natural, nor is it going to work long term. You can see with the maxillary remodeling equation that duration is key. Many of the derivatives in the MRE are going to be temporally dependent. Therefore, the more time that you can keep different aspects of the face under tension, the more remodeling can happen. So, we know that the masseter muscles are here. We're not going to chew with the premolars, we're going to chew with the molars since that is much more natural. Given that, then, and only once you can chew properly, you're going to chew with the molars, mastic gum. You're going to do this for around 20 minutes a day. Once you can do this for 20 minutes a day, not only are you going to notice the actual muscles grow bigger, but you're also going to notice that the bone density at the ramus is going to improve. Once you can improve the bone density from the side profile, what is your appearance going to look like? Well, you can see for yourself how my one-to-one clients' side profiles, front profiles are going to transform. And they transform because they began with this. If you've seen the transformations that are possible naturally, not only from the side, but more importantly from the front, and your life, your professional career, and your personal life is dependent on your appearance, then that means that investing in your appearance not only improves something just like your personal life, but has a direct ROI on your professional life. Then you can apply on my website to work with me one-to-one. Spaces in the present moment are not available. However, I will be having some spaces opening up in the following weeks. I am going to be shortlisting some applicants who have strong applications. If you recognize the value of your appearance and you're in a position to be able to give your appearance everything you have for the benefit of your future, then feel free to scroll down, go into my description, and you will know what to do next. I hope to see you in the next video.